If you've been into flashlights for any amount of time, you probably have a good idea of what makes a flashlight a good one. However, the majority of folks who grab a flashlight probably wouldn't know a good flashlight from a hole in the ground. This is where the average consumer gets hooked into buying a flashlight with a counterfeit LED, blue tint, and terrible PWM. What's a prospective buyer to do? Is this really one of the best flashlights on Amazon? The S1000 is a fairly standard tube light that fits well in the hand, and even when loaded with 3AA or an 18650, it's surprisingly lightweight with good balance. The tube is a bit chubby for what amounts to an 18650 size light, but this is good for maintaining a good purchase on the light, and it's short enough that most hand sizes can reach the rear switch easily. The rear switch is a reverse clicky, so it must be fully depressed and released before the light turns on. Once on, mode changes are facilitated by half presses. The click action feels okay, and while a bit mushy, it's serviceable. The boot is a bit thin and I could easily feel the switch underneath. There are two types of zoomies, push-pull or telescopic, and twisted. The S1000 is a push-pull zoomie, so the entire head slides forward and backwards to adjust the beam from spot to flood. The travel is about 2 inches, so there's lots of adjustability to have as much or as little flood as you want, or all-out bat signal. The zoom action is pretty smooth with only a little bit of notchiness. The tail cap and body have traditional, albeit pretty shallow knurling for grip, and there's a single lanyard hole in the tail cap, but no place to mount a pocket clip. I don't think one is really needed, since the light fits in my pockets easily. Tail standing is easy peasy and stable since the switch doesn't protrude. The scalloped cuts in the head keep it planted on an inclined surface, something some expensive lights don't have. Overall, the S1000 is pretty maneuverable and handles about like my Sebin L17, although that light is much heavier. Here's where we start getting into the areas where quality consumer grade and enthusiast lights distance themselves from lights like the S1000. Since the S1000 came as a 2-pack from Amazon for about $21 US, without shipping, about $10 for a single light is a pretty good deal. On the flip side, a nice budget flashlight like a Sofirn S10 V3, Skillet Equo A, or Lumen Top Tool AA 2.0 runs about $20–25, sometimes less with sales. The Convoy S2 Plus runs about $15 to $20. Those are far superior flashlights, but remember, you're getting two S1000s. Remember, build quality. Aside from some slightly abrupt edges on the bezel, the rest of the edges are smooth, which is something even some higher-end lights are missing. Looking inside the plastic lens, the retaining ring holding the LED down is made of aluminum, but it's not finished particularly well and has visible flashing on the inner part. While even the lowest cost, but still good quality budget lights still have name brand LED. No so with this S1000 because it's sporting arguably the most copied LED on the market today. A fake Cree XML style LED, and this is probably one of the dozen or so counterfeits available on the Chinese market. No tint is specified, but it sure looks very cool and more blue than white. I ran it through the Oppo Lightmaster Pro on the high setting. Since the S1000 is a zoomie, the light from the LED is focused by an aspheric lens mounted to the head. The LED stays in a fixed position, and the lens extends and retracts. The aspheric lens is pretty small, made from plastic of some kind, and it was somewhat defect-free out of the box. There's no lens protecting it, and the lightly crenulated bezel doesn't offer much protection, so it will get scratched up. There's a few battery options for the S1000. By default, it's a 3AA light and can use either alkaline, carbon, zinc, NIM, or nickel rechargeables. The AA are housed in a familiar carrier which arranges them in series for 4.5 volts total, actually a bit higher with fresh alkaline batteries at 4.84 volts and 4.19 with NIM. There's no onboard charging, which is fine for alkalines. When they go flat, you can responsibly dispose of them. But if you use NIM or 18650, you'll need a separate charger. I tried in a Sebin 3100 mAh 18650 with built-in charging, but it fit. But it's a tight squeeze that compresses the tail and driver springs quite a bit. If you don't have an 18650 with built-in charging, there's universal chargers that charge NIM and Li-ions for about $15. We are going to end this video right away. If you have any query or information to share, please leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.